I have 4 cases to show you for your iPhone 17 Pro Max by Urban Armor Gear today, and I've been covering Urban Armor Gear cases over the years for many years, and I really appreciate the design and the look of these. So we're going to cover them from the least drop protective rating to the highest of the bunch, at least that I have. And we're going to start with the Plyo. This is a clearer style case, comes in a variety of different colors. You'll see the price up on the screen. And this is rated for up to 16 feet of drop protection. It also has an anti-yellowing technology built into it. Now let's go ahead and get this out of the box. While I do that, I do want to mention that with all of the cases I'm showing you today, I have already tested the MagSafe charging capability off camera and can confirm that it works just fine. So be aware of that. But I will show you the MagSafe capabilities with a ring that is supplied by Urban Armor Gear. So you saw how that fits inside of the case. We are going to get some lay on the table design. I do have a tempered glass screen shield on here, and we still have that lip. So good ample protection there. You can see how it all lines up down below. We also have an area for the Apple strap that some people choose to purchase and use. This is going to be an area that some of you may not like, and that's the camera control. On the Urban Armor Gear cases, it is a cutout. Personally, I don't mind it. I can go either way, and I've used these cases on the prior gen with no problem whatsoever accessing this. So I actually find it's easier to use and avoid mispresses when it is a cutout versus when it's a built-in button. I'll show you how that operates in a moment. We have some minor UAG branding right there, and then all on the side we have this added sort of grip. It's just these lines that are raised up on either side that give you added grip, and it also helps to reduce fingerprints along the side. We have a covered up button here, all enclosed on the top, and then on the other side button coverage as well. I'm going to show you the back, and then we'll talk about the buttons here, and I'll just give it a quick wipe down because this type of case is going to show some fingerprinting. You can see the plateau for the camera and how that looks, and this is what it's going to look like in this color combination. I do like how that kind of gradient goes from dark to light here. And let's go ahead and talk about those buttons. So very responsive. As I say, I've been using Urban Armor Gear cases for many years, and I didn't expect these to have any issue whatsoever. And then as far as that camera control button, again, I like it because I find that it's very responsive, as you see here, but at the same token, it helps to prevent unnecessary button presses because it isn't a button and it is a bit recessed. So operates just fine. Let's go ahead and pop on a MagSafe ring, and you'll see this is one by Urban Armor Gear. Probably not the best color choice with this particular case, but they do sell it in other colors, and it's very strong. That is not going anywhere. So this is the Plyo. It's the case that you're going to want to look at if you want a little bit less protection. Still 16 feet of drop protection is nothing to scoff at, but you want to be able to see the back of your iPhone in more of a anti-yellowing clear style case. Next up, this is my favorite of the bunch. This is the one that I actually used on my iPhone 16 Pro Max for a very long time, and it's the Metropolis LT. It's rated for up to 18 feet of drop protection. It comes in a couple of different styles, at least for the 16 Pro Max, and I believe it probably does on the 17 Pro Max as well. This one has a Kevlar back to it, but the ones that I had actually had like a tactical kind of camo design with a vegan sort of leather material. But again, that's what that's going to look like. And the reason why I really like this case is because you get 18 feet of drop protection in a slim profile. I mean, this doesn't add much in the way of bulk. It certainly doesn't add much in the way of weight. And as we take a look, again, you're going to have that camera control cutout along the side, button here, raised up edges ever so much along the side to give you that 18 feet of drop protection, button coverage along the side here. And then we do have that area for the lanyards should you decide to attach it. That's how it's all going to look down below. And then you also get that raised up protection so your screen does not touch a surface if this case goes flat down. The case is going to be touching, not your screen. And then as we take a look at the backside, you're going to see what that looks like. Real clean look, in my opinion. Supports MagSafe charging, no problem. There's our MagSafe ring by Urban Armor Gear. This one actually looks pretty cool in green, but they do make it in black and other colors as well. And you're going to see you get that ample strength there as well. So this is also going to hide any sort of MagSafe ring mark that you typically get, or at least prevent it from happening longer than some of the other cases would, in my opinion. And just like all the other cases, this one is very responsive with all of those button presses, so you're not going to have any issue whatsoever in any way, shape, or form. And same thing goes with that camera control button. You can see that that activates. We can use that with no problem, swiping up and down. And I find that it really doesn't matter how I use it. It works just fine. So buttons are not an issue on this case. This is probably my pick out of the bunch. For me personally, I love it, is the Metropolis LT. Now we're going to get into some of the higher rated drop protective cases. This one comes in at 20 feet. It's the Plasma XTE. This includes a stand for vertical as well as horizontal viewing. And let's go ahead and get that out of the case. And you'll notice it also has a smoky semi-clear back here, with a real nice orange accent. So this is more of a brick sort of shape, so a square shape, and you can see the inside. None of the metal is showing on the inside here, so that's nice. So let's go ahead and pop this one into the case. I can tell you right off the bat already that the lay on the table is a little bit more pronounced on this case than the other ones. So take a look around the edges. Even with my screen shield on, you're getting it. See how everything lines up on the bottom. Of course, we've got an area for your lanyard. We've got button coverage here, up along the top, all closed, button coverage here, and then of course your camera controls, which you can press this button, no problem. I will say that this one flexes a little bit more than the other cases right in this area, so just be aware of that. But other than that, controls are no problem. And then as far as all of these buttons go, just like all the other cases, it's a non-issue. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back side. I'm going to give it a wipe down because it will show fingerprints in that clear area. You can see what that looks like with your camera plateau cutout. And then you can also see where that ring is. Now, before I show you how the ring operates, MagSafe is still going to work on this one. And look at that. That's kind of a neat, cool look with this green ring on there. And let's go ahead and pull that up and off. It does get a little bit like, notice that it's attaching to that. So if you pull it, it is going to do that a little bit, but it still stays attached and it's really not going anywhere. So just be aware that that MagSafe ring will do that. I don't know that you're going to need this type of a ring with this type of a case because guess what? It's built in. So take a look at that. So we get this stand and you can use it just like that, or you can even use it just like that. So with a case like this, you may not need something like this, but if you wanted to use it, you still could. Just be aware of how that's going to change the dynamic of operation there. So this one is the Plasma XTE. So if you want a little bit more, say, protection, because it's rated for up to 20 feet of drop protection, it is going to show some fingerprinting. I would probably say you don't need a MagSafe ring with this one because it has this here. Charging is going to work just fine as well. Now, this is probably the one time I wish I had the orange iPhone 17 Pro Max to show you with this case, because this color combination looks really, really cool. This is the Monarch Pro. It's the big boy. It's rated at 25 feet of drop protection. It's got a vegan faux leather. And yeah, this comes in different styles as far as colors go as well. But this is a real cool color. This might even be, if memory serves me correct, an online exclusive. So it's got this really nice orange color. And again, off screen, I have done a test of MagSafe charging and it works just fine. And I will show you how the MagSafe ring is going to work on this one in just a moment. Now, taking a look at the screen protection, you are going to get that lay on the table design. Here's how everything lines up along the bottom. We have the area for the lanyard. You've got a real nice honeycomb design along the side, which gives you added grip. We've got our button coverage up along the top, reinforced edges, honeycomb design button coverage, and your camera cutout. And again, these buttons, just like every other case that I've shown you, very responsive. Again, I personally don't have an issue with the camera cutout, but it is a personal preference. I get that. and you'll see these buttons operate no problem whatsoever. Everything works as expected. Again, on this case, I would say it's a little bit more flimsy in this area than I would like, but these cases have held up on prior generations without issue and breakdown. So I have no reason to believe that's going to be a point of concern, but I do want to call that out. Take a look at the backside. Super unique, but super cool in my opinion. Reminds me of, like, I've always said this since day one. This case, especially when you see it in green, reminds me of something from like Halo, the video game. And you'll see that camera plateau cutout with ample protection. And then if you do want to put this on, you can put some kind of a ring and talk about Halo, orange and green. Look at that. And let's turn it so it's maybe better aligned. And that's kind of cool. So you definitely are going to add bulk doing this, but you get enough strength that this is not going to fly off. And it's a very unique look. So head turner for sure. I can only imagine what this would look like with that orange iPhone. I bet you it'd be a match made in heaven. So there you have it. That is the Monarch Pro, rated for up to 25 feet of drop protection. So there they are, the 4 different cases that I've been able to get my hands on from Urban Armor Gear for your iPhone 17 Pro Max. Personally, for me, and this stood true last generation and this generation, my pick goes to the Metropolis LT, but I realize everybody's needs are different. So some of you may decide you want to go with something else here. If you are a fan of Urban Armor Gear and you like these cases, I'd love to hear which one you've used in the past or which one you'll be targeting to use this time around. Let me know in the comments down below. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe on the way out, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.